Well, a new survey of marketing professionals is causing divisions in the industry. The Digital IQ Index survey surveys 350 people working in marketing and media and has found that most of them don't have the adequate digital skills that are required for their role. In fact, only 4% were familiar with social media and nearly three-quarters had no online experience at all prior to their current role. Well, joining me now to tell us more is Paddy Keegan, the founder of Digital Chameleon, who did the survey. Paddy, thanks for coming on Tech Report today. First question for you, why do a survey like this? What made you decide to undertake this piece of research?
Thank you, Nigel. We put together the Digital IQ Index, which is really the first survey of its kind. And we developed it and launched it to the wider industry because we wanted a way to quantify what we knew from working with media and marketing professionals since 2005. And that is that we live in a digital world. However, most marketing teams just really don't possess the adequate digital skills to be able to meet that challenge. So we surveyed over 350 participants across a range of our client companies, and we plan to release future iterations of this report on an ongoing basis to the market.
So when you talk about the digital skills gap, what do you actually mean by that?
We mean the gap between people's confidence and comfort levels and their job responsibilities, what they actually have to produce on the job. And there is a disconnect. In fact, we saw that only 30% of respondents said that they'd had any previous digital experience prior to their current role, yet 60% of them had digital responsibility in their current role. So whether that's digital strategy, implementation, or managing budgets, to us that was kind of a troubling disconnect. We're finding that companies can no longer try to hire their way out of a digital skills problem. They can't continue to rely on that social media guru or the digital expert who sits over in the corner. Entire marketing teams and really ultimately teams and parts of the organization outside of marketing need to become digitally literate. And what we're seeing is that clearly most companies are not in that category right now.
How exactly is this skills gap manifesting itself in the sense of normal day-to-day business? Are companies just not in the right digital space at the moment? Are they not executing digital strategies? What's the impact of this skills gap?
Well, I think the impact, we saw nearly three-quarters of people saying that they were less than comfortable or confident with their current digital skills levels. And I think the significance there is we can see how technology and digital is transforming and changing industries. You were just talking about the financial services industry. Let's go back to the music industry. That was forever changed by digital. Newspapers, they let their classifieds business be taken over by online businesses that just didn't even exist previously. And the march continues in terms of the disruption that digital and technology are having on category after category. Travel, look at the tremendous pressure that retail is under right now. So we think it's those leaders who recognize and acknowledge the skills gaps that exist and who then take measures to try and mitigate the problems and try and close that gap. They're the ones who will have the teams who are able to compete.
Now, you say part of the solution here is companies offering digital training. They can't rely on external hires. They've got to offer that training themselves. But isn't part of the problem that it's very hard to quantify a benefit here? So what is the payoff for a company offering this training, and how do they justify it when it comes to the bottom line?
Well, at Digital Chameleon, we don't really like to use the term training because to us that implies kind of discrete incidents of taking people and locking them away in a conference room for a day and then, ticking the box that we've done training. And we all know, we've all been there, we all know what happens on Monday morning. You go back to your desk and you revert to your old behaviors. We tend to take more of an ongoing learning and development approach. So we like to equip our learners with confidence and tools that they can take back to their jobs, and that they can start to learn from each other and change their behaviors, and embed this knowledge on an ongoing basis into their day-to-day work. So that's what we find is really the most beneficial. And we have not to talk too much about Digital Chameleon specifically, but we have ways that we're able to, we have a metrics-driven approach so that we're able to report results back to our clients that can demonstrably show results. We can benchmark things and we can show befores and afters. And,
all right, Patty, very quickly, some people have said that these results couldn't possibly be right. The numbers here are too low. Your sample size is too small. How confident are you about the methodology you've used?
Well, I would say for the Australian market, a 350 participant sample size is quite adequate, where we've seen similar data coming out of the U.S., such a big market with maybe 450 respondents. So I would say I'm quite confident that our findings could even be on the conservative side when you think
all right, Patty, thanks very much for coming on. We do have to leave it there, unfortunately, out of time this morning.
All right, thanks, Nigel.
That's Patty Keegan there from Digital Chameleon. That's all we have time for on